Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And I am so excited about this video today. Today I am making a huge announcement about Peter's Book Club, as well as a true crime book club that I run with my good Judy Mel. Hey Mel, how are you? And I'm so excited because this has been a long time coming. I'm going to be announcing the books for both Peter's Book Club and a True Crime Book Club for the month of July. Now, I have to tell you, the book for a True Crime Book Club is a book that we had actually decided that we were going to read in May. But because I got so behind with reading and things like that, we kept on postponing it and postponing it and postponing it. And so we are doing a reset in the month of July, and we are starting with the new book that we are reading. So we will be reading that in the month of July, and we will also hopefully be doing the live stream at the end of July over July's book. And for Peter's Book Club, I have to tell you, I went through so many books trying to find the perfect book to read for Peter's Book Club this month. And it was really, in thanks a lot to my neighbor across the street. So let's talk about that one first. Okay, so through the years that I have done Peter's Book Club, which if you guys don't know what Peter's Book Club is a book club that I just announced over here, and I also post a picture on Instagram with the cover of the book and whatever, and it's just a book that we read together, and I know that the lighting is really horrible in this video because the sun just came out, so it's like starting to like put me into shadows, but anyway, so I apologize for that, but anyway, I thought it'd be nice to just sit out here and film all of my videos on the front porch today because I love sitting out here so much. But anyway, you know, through the years have just like tried to pick new books that have just come out, and so that we can all read a new book together and things like that. And I just thought it would be a really fun way to have a book club where we're all reading something together. And when I decided to come back this year and start it again, I really didn't think that many people would be interested in doing it, but I got such a strong response from people saying, oh, I loved when you did Peter's Book Club. It really helped me read a lot and whatever. And so I went in and I started picking, you know, different books and whatever. And I think the last book that I picked was Shady Hollow by Janelle Black, which I have to tell you, I just started it last night. I have 2 hours left of it. I got about a third of the way through. I'm absolutely loving it so far. I'm listening to it on Audible. It is read by Cassandra Campbell, who is the narrator for all of the Misfortune books by Jana DeLeon. I literally finished last night book number 23 in the Misfortune series, Swamp Spirits, and I turned right around and started listening to Shady Hollow by Janelle Black. There are currently 3 books in the series, and the 4th one is coming out in November. And it's a cozy mystery series, but it's a little bit different because it's all with characters who are animals, and it takes place in this city in the woods called Shady Hollow. I have to tell you, I was kind of skeptical going into it. Now, if you guys follow my Instagram stories, you'll see that I repost pictures of animals living in little hollows and little like nooks and crannies and trees and under the ground and stuff like that. And I love that whole kind of imaginary world. But I didn't really know what to expect in reading this book, and I have to tell you, I'm just so delighted in it. It's first of all, it's a really well-written, fantastic story, but the characters are just so well developed. And my favorite so far, I have to say, is the hummingbird who works for the newspaper. And it's just like, there's so many different characters, and they're so fantastic, and the whole thing is done so well. So anyway, I started finishing that last night. But as many of you know, if you've watched this channel over here, or you've watched my vlog where I talk about it a lot, I love cozy mysteries, which if you read a lot of cozy mysteries, we call cozies, right? I love the world of cozies. I am constantly looking for new cozy mysteries. In fact, I have a spreadsheet on my computer where I have all the cozy mystery series that I'm currently reading or have been reading, and where I'm at and which book I'm on and things like that, so I can keep track of it, because many of these cozy mystery series have 10, 20, 30 books in the series. I have to say my 2 favorites are the Misfortune series by Jana DeLeon, which I don't think is a mystery to anybody. And my other favorite is, I think it's called Campgrounds and Criminals, and it's by Tanya Kappas. And I think there's about 30 books in that series as well. And I'm about, I think like a 4th of the way through those. And they're very, very short. And actually, Nikki from a True Crime Book Club the other day, she was asking for a cozy to start with, and I recommended that to to her, and she looked on Kindle Unlimited, and Tanya Kaplas's books are free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're looking for a cozy to start with, that might be one. They're very, very short, and I love them. But I wanted to pick a cozy for the month of July, because I kind of mentioned it on my vlog, and I thought it would be really fun for all of us to start a cozy mystery series together. The problem I have found in the past is there's always like a book one coming out with a cozy mystery, but you don't really know, like every year, every month, there's always a new book coming out starting a new series, but you don't really know until you read the book, like if it's going to be good or not. And so I was looking through several series that people had recommended to me. Stacy had recommended some series to me, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll start with those, but I wasn't really sure. And so then I was talking to my neighbor across the street, the gardener, the master gardener. She loves cozy mysteries as well, and we like very similar cozy mysteries. And so she had mentioned to me a while ago, and then she brought it up again, this series that she loves. Oh my god, I forgot my phone and everything! I'm gonna have to stop this video because I've got to go. I can't do this video without my phone to read, you guys. But anyway, she basically picked the book that we're gonna read for July. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my phone, with the receipts. What a professional video, right? Okay, so the book that I picked has actually been out for a while. There are 11 books in the series, so I thought, you know, if we start reading this book and it's a series that I really, really love, then it's a series that we can all read together if we decide that we really like the first book in it. But it's been out for a while. It's gotten a lot of acclaim. A lot of people in the cozy mystery community really, really love her books, and so I thought this is probably a good one to start with. And also, my neighbor has recommended several cozy mysteries to me that I've absolutely loved, and so I thought, okay, this is one of her favorites, so I'm going to go with this. And the book is called Lowcountry Boil, and it is by Susan Boyer. And it is, let's see, it is 362 pages, and let me read you the synopsis. Now, the whole idea, if you don't know what cozies are, okay, cozy mysteries are mysteries that have like a lot of food in them. The houses are always very cozy. There's typically a pet or two that's kind of like in the picture, like a lot of cats, a lot of dogs that are part of the investigation. And there's like the violence is not like the murders and stuff like that. It's like in this one series that I love, like she was found with like a cheddar biscuit in her mouth. So they're like really good mysteries, and they're like hard to solve mysteries, but they're not super violent. There's romance typically in them, like the main character falls in love with the sheriff or something like that, but there's not like a lot of sex and all that kind of stuff. They're just like feel good cozies. In fact, when I was talking to her about it yesterday, I said, I just love cozies. I'm so happy that I'm reading them again. They just like make me so happy. And she's like, I love them too. She's like, there's something about them that just like makes me just feel like so at home, and I just love them so much. So anyway, cozies also have like a lot of eccentric characters, and there's a main character, and typically the storyline is the main character returns home to their hometown or some new town because they've been like betrayed or, you know, left at the altar or lost a job or something like that, or like a family member passes away, so they have to move home to like take over. So they move back to their old hometown, or they move to a new hometown, and they usually start some business, which is usually like a coffee shop, a bookstore, a private investigation firm, or a bed and breakfast or something like that, and then a murder occurs. And so each series, or each book in the series, is a different murder that occurs, okay? So this is Lowcountry Boil by Susan Boyer. Private investigator Liz Talbot, and these are called these books are called the Liz Talbot Mysteries. Private investigator Liz Talbot is a modern Southern belle. She blesses hearts and takes names. She carries her Sig 9 in her Kate Spade handbag, and her golden retriever Rhett rides shotgun in her hybrid Escape. When her grandmother is murdered, Liz hightails it back to her South Carolina island home to find the killer. She's fit to be tied when her police chief brother shuts her out of the investigation, so she opens her own. Then her long-dead best friend pops in, and things really get complicated. There's a lot of ghosts in some of these, too. So it's like if the paranormal is something that you don't like, but they're very usually, like, friendly ghosts. I don't know if that's what this is insinuating, or that if her friend is, like, not actually dead, and maybe, I don't know. But a lot of these have, like, ghosts in them and things like that. Then her long-dead best friend pops in, and things really get complicated. When more folks start turning up dead in the small... When more folks start turning up dead in this small seaside town, Liz must use more than just her wits and charm to keep her family safe, chase down clues from the hereafter, and catch a psychopath before he catches her. So there must be a paranormal element to this. But anyway, my neighbor said she loves it, and I'm really, really excited about reading this book. So I'll put it in the description box below that this is the book for Peter's Book Club, and I'll also be putting it up on my Instagram probably sometime this week. But please join me in reading this. If you guys want to start a cozy mystery series together, I would love that. I'm also reading the Shady Hollow series right now by Janelle Black, and I'm also continuing to read the Misfortune series. So any of those, and the Criminal and Campground series by Tanya Kappas. So those are the 4 that I'm currently reading. So I would recommend those as well if you've already read this, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that love cozies that have already read this one, because this is kind of a popular cozy series. Alright, now let's get into the book for a True Crime Book Club. Are you guys ready? Okay, so Mel actually found this and suggested this to me, and I'll never forget when we were talking about it. I was like, oh, this is so perfect. Okay, so let me tell you what the book is called. The book is called The Horrors of Fox Hollow Farm, Unraveling the History and Hauntings of a Serial Killer's Home. And it is 240 pages, so it's another short book. You can get this on Audible. You can get, I saw it at the library when I looked it up. You can get it on all different kinds of book sites and everything. So let me read you the synopsis. Fox Hollow Farm, the infamous Indiana property, where I live in Indiana, where Herb Baumeister allegedly murdered at least 11 men, has a grim past and an unsettling present. This riveting book pieces together the story of the tragic case and explores the paranormal encounters that continue to this day, delving into the psyche of a suspected murderer and the terrifying supernatural activity that lingers in the aftermath of such unspeakable evil. The Horrors of Fox Hollow Farm provides detailed insights from the original criminal investigation, as well as the perspectives of the man who survived Herb's attempt on his life. This chilling book also features actual supernatural evidence, from EVPs and psychic confirmations to first-hand accounts of the disembodied hands, and voices that regularly manifest on the estate. Okay, now I'm laughing because if you don't know the history is I have done several videos on my Peter Monn channel about the fact that I may have met Herb Baumeister and even gone to his estate, Fox Hollow Farms, when I was drinking back in the day for an after-hours party. And I didn't find that out until years ago when my friend Tanya and I were at a meeting and we were talking to a friend of mine that had just like newly come in and been sober. And she was like, I'm so glad that you guys back in the day like never ended up at that guy's house and he didn't murder you and whatever. Can you imagine? Because the time that he was killing men, and he was also known as the I-70 killer. It says 11 men in here, but he was actually, like, the number is 29 gay men that he killed in Indianapolis. And he was also known as the I-70 killer, and they also think that they have that number inaccurate, that it may be closer to 40 or 50 men that he killed. So they have no idea. They base that number off of the bones that they have found on the property. And just this past summer, they had cadaver dogs out on the property. I think he died in, like, 1996. And they are still, like, every single day they find bones on the property and things like that. So when I was going out and I was drinking back in the day, he was out at bars and he was taking men home at the bars that I was going to in Indianapolis, getting men that were very, very drunk. And I kind of fit the description of that. So it was very scary for me. And then flash forward a couple years later, my friend and I were watching an episode of Investigative Reports with Bill Curtis on A&E, and they did a whole story about him. This was after he had died. So this would have been 96, 97, and I had been sober at that point like 2.5 years. So I've always been very, very interested in this case, and I've done a couple videos on my Peter Monn channel, like I said. I also, and it is, I think, my most viewed vlog of all time on my vlog channel. My friends Melissa and Aaron and I went with a group of other people to Fox Hollow Farms several years ago, which is the estate, and we did a paranormal investigation, which the result of which I didn't feel that a lot really paranormal kind of happened. I feel like a few things were kind of questionable. But for me, it was really about the sadness of the fact that these guys had died there. I mean, we were literally at the end of it, like sitting in the downstairs basement looking out over the pool where he would strangle these men, the inside pool, and he would strangle them with the pool hose. And it just was very sad to me and all this kind of stuff. But I'm still very, very interested in this case. And in fact, I have people constantly reach out to me. I mean, literally, like, probably once a week on a regular basis, because I think I'm, like, one of the only people that's really ever talked about this case on YouTube, other than John Lorden Arts, who did an entire coverage of the documentary that they did called The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms. And I think I've done, like, 3 or 4 videos about it now, including the vlog. And so people reach out to me all the time, and they want to tell me about information. There's all this information, which we will be discussing in the live stream, that has been speculative, or that people have speculated about, or people have said that, oh, this happened to them, or this happened to them, and they've come forth and they've shared this information with me of things that they have found out about alleged, like, that there was, you know, that he had an accomplice, and that person is still alive and still out there, and on and on and on. Very scary information. So I'm very excited about reading this book and learning more about it. This is not the only book about Herb Baumeister, but there's only like 2 or 3, and Mel and I found that this looked like the best book out there covering all of this. So we have no idea. I actually have a friend of mine that read this book, and he told me, he said it's really good. You're going to find out a lot of stuff that you don't know. And I was like, I feel like I know everything about this case. And he was like, oh no, you're going to find out more that you don't know. So I'm very, very excited about that. There's actually, you can go back and watch the investigative reports on YouTube, the Bill Curtis original, the original episode that they did that I watched in 1996 or 7. You can also, I don't know, 98, 99, I don't know when it came out. You can also go back and watch The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms, which has like several psychic mediums that come out there. There's a couple videos on YouTube about the case itself, and then you can go watch my vlog where we went out there. And if you just go under my vlog channel, Peter Vlogs, and you look under like most popular videos, it's either like, well, actually I could just do it for you right now and tell you which one it is. It's number 1 or 2. I actually have that channel pulled up right now. Hold on just a second. Your channel. Let's pull it up. Videos. Popular. Oh, it is! It's my most popular video on my vlog channel. That's crazy. And it's called Fox Hollow Farms Investigation. It was from August 5th, 5 years ago. And it's sitting at 54,000 views. So why wouldn't you want to watch it? But anyway, so yeah, so that's the book that we're going to be reading for July. So, the book for Peter's Book Club is Lowcountry Boil, and the book for True Crime Book Club is the Fox Hollow Farms book about Herb Baumeister. So it's going to be a good July. They're both shorter books, so there's no excuse for me not to get like right on them and get them done. So I will have both of those books done in July, and I'm really excited about both of those. So please let me know in the comment section below if you are going to be reading along with me and Mel. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.